Welcome to King of the Bootleggers Prohibition Trivia Night. George Remus making it happen. We're excited to have you all here. Today we've got a great show, but before we jump into it, I want to tell you, you know what? If you're not 21, please don't hang out here. Don't encourage drinking if you're not the legal drinking age, and that is 21. So we're going to be asking some fun questions, playing some trivia. We're going to have our friend Mollie Amburgey joining in, our friend Matt from Barkeep US, and here they join us. I can hear some wild music in my ears. Do you guys hear that music? Ta-da!
Yeah!
Welcome. We've got a special edition today. We've been highlighting some great areas, Chicago, St. Louis. Today, Cincinnati. And you know what? That's our guest today, Matt Longueville of Barkeep US, and myself, Chris Denman of We Are Live. We do this show every week, usually on Fridays whenever we wind down the week, but it's a special edition Thursday. Got the holiday this weekend. Cincinnati is the focus this week. And Mollie Amburgey, comic, actor, podcaster from Casually Mollie podcast, joins us because she's from Cincinnati. Welcome, Mollie.
Woo! Yeah. Oh, thank you for having me.
Is there a cool Cincinnati shout out that we can do real quick up top? I mean, do you guys have like for St. Louis, it's obviously we're just yeah, Nelly, the Arch, things like that. What about Cincinnati? What's happening in Cincinnati?
Oh my gosh. Listen, 98 Degrees is from there. So if you like a cappella groups, rest in peace, Lachey's. I know everybody was really concerned. I used to work right across from Lachey's. I met Drew Lachey. Very exciting stuff. But yeah, no, there's a lot of great places out there. But, shout out to Montgomery Inn. They're known for their ribs. You also got Skyline and Graders. The food's really awesome. But my favorite bar out there is called Low Spark, actually. So if you ever get a chance to go there, something that's really cool about it is it has a fish tank just randomly in the middle of the bar. So they've got all these cocktails and you just watch these fish swim by. There's a cool mirror wall and it's just right in the corner. It's hidden. But if you after isolation want to see some goldfish, that's your place to go for sure.
That's what we do.
So shout out to them.
Yes, absolutely. And George Remus has a wonderful, wild history in Cincinnati. We've got a lot to get to with trivia today. But we also have some other features. We're going to feature 4 different bartenders from the Cincinnati area. 3 different bartenders, excuse me.
Three cocktails, 4 bartenders. And I think we should talk about, before we get into the cocktails, that the Cincinnati Reds have probably the best mascot in all of baseball.
Of course they do.
I can get behind that.
Mr. and Mrs., they're great. I love them.
And can we talk about those sweet, sweet Barry Larkin moves that everybody got to enjoy over his career? Wow, that guy, unbelievable. And shout out to Ruben Patterson, played for the University of Cincinnati and had a great college career. Matt, can you give us just some background on our friends that'll be showing us the cocktails today? And then we'll jump into them throughout the show. We're going to be asking some trivia questions. Be sure to answer in the comments. We do give away participation prizes. So if you're sharing and you're having a good time, you're having fun, maybe you answer a bunch of questions, we're going to be able to reward you with some prizes like we do every single week. Give us the lowdown, Matt.
Yeah, so 3 different bars that have been great to George Remus and the Remus brand over the years. We're featuring our buddy Bill from Rich's Proper, Julie and Catherine from Homemakers, and then Griffin from Wise Guys. And I think Mollie has some history with Wise Guys, the old manager.
I sure do.
Right?
Griffin, this one's for you. It is from Andrew Jacob. He is a good friend of mine from high school, and he says that he misses you, Bill, and Robin dearly. So that's the shout out that you guys deserve.
It's a Cincy party.
Yes. Oh, it's definitely a Cincy. Wise Guy was my hangout, too. I love that place. So shout out to them.
Well, it wouldn't be a trivia show without the trivia. We've got the King of the Bootleggers Prohibition Trivia. So here's how this works. We have some fun. You all can kind of speculate if Matt or Mollie is going to get the question right. Let us know in the comments. Hit share, like it, tag a friend that you think is going to enjoy a cocktail maybe like this. And we do this every week. Again, usually it's on Fridays at 6 p.m. Central. And wait a second. What's the time zone in Cincinnati, Mollie?
So it'd be like 7 something right now.
See, that's the Eastern time zone.
Yes.
That's in the Midwest. You get a little confused and you show up late to things. So we're gonna work through this. So we're gonna see some cocktails made. We're gonna ask some questions. I want to just start things off with a couple questions. You guys down?
Yeah, let's do this.
Absolutely. I can see the enthusiasm, and I'm feeling it. There's electricity in the quarantined air. Your first question, again, if you're watching at home, list the answer in the comments. So here we go. George Remus's lavish home in Cincinnati was called which of the following? Mollie, Matt, are you ready?
Yes.
As ready as I'll ever be.
King's Castle. B, Marble Palace. C, Hermosa Mansion. So we've got 3 options. I'll read them one more time for those just listening. A, King's Castle. B, Marble Palace. C, Hermosa Mansion. And again, I want to also tell everybody, answer in the comments. We're paying attention, seeing who's having some fun. Mollie, you dyed your hair red just for today. I'll let you answer first.
Okay. I'm going to go with Hermosa Mansion because it sounds fancy. And if I had a mansion, I'd name it that. So.
Okay. Matt?
I'm going to go with, even though it seems obvious and you're not supposed to go with the obvious option, I'm going to go with King's Palace.
King's Castle for Matt.
Thanks.
Real quick.
A.
Real quick. So we have A and C from our participants. Our producer, Matt, is also audibly on the line. He'll be the voice of reason from time to time. Matt,
call me Matt number 2.
Matt number 2. Do you have any answers in the comments? Did anybody answer?
We do. We have a lot of C's and a lot of B's. No
Okay.
A's. Looks like which was the correct answer?
Well, that answer is B. So if you answered B in the comments, Marble Palace, located at 825 Hermosa Avenue in the Price Hill district of Cincinnati. What do you think of that? Do you guys feel good starting off 0-1, both of you?
Not really.
At all. We did have a few. Josh answered correctly. Ashley answered correctly. Jeff answered correctly. Big shout out to them for being better than the people that we bring on the show for the King of the Bootleggers.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Yes. And
you,
again,
Jeff.
huge shout out. This is all about Remus. It's all about Cincinnati today. And I'll be naming my favorite random Cincinnati players from various sporting. Oh, hey, Remus Bottle from Matt from Barkeep. I like that. Do we want to talk about Chris Sabo, former Cincinnati Red in the 1980s?
Great goggles.
Great goggles. We'll talk more Chris Sabo after this next question. In what year did George Remus permanently move to Cincinnati? Here we go. Your options. A, 1918. B, 1920. C, 1922. Again, George Remus, infamous King of the Bootleggers. When did he head to Cincinnati? Mollie, we're going to let you go first again. You grew up in Cincinnati. What year was it?
Yes. Oh my God. And I just read this today. So I'm like, and all these years are so close together. I'm going to say A, 1918.
1918 for Mollie. What about you, Mr. Longueville?
I'm going to go with 1922.
An A and a C from both times. If you're listening and in the comments, you want to answer. And what year did George Remus permanently move to Cincinnati? A, 1918, B, 1920, C, 1922. You guys ready for the answer? Look at this. This is what we call tension building. The answer is B, 1920.
What? Did
We're
Jeff show me up again?
We're going to find out. In 1920, Remus moved from Chicago to Cincinnati after federal agents raided his Chicago operation. His move to Cincinnati would put him in close proximity to many of the distilleries he would end up purchasing. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that was a slick move?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Let's check some of the comments. Sharon got it right.
Ashley, really fair.
Ashley got it right.
If Cincinnati
Thanks,
bootlegging and prohibition gets it right.
That's a good question. So So here's what we do. Our hosts, our guest, and our co-host is a combined 0 for 4. Is that how we do that? We make that worse? You're both 0 for 2. So tell you what, you deserve a break. We're supporting Cincinnati today. We're going to show one of our cocktail videos. But first, I do have to let everybody know that thanks to our friends at King of the Bootleggers, we are raising money for the USBG. That's the United States Bartenders Guild. They've been greatly affected by, just like all of us, but we're focusing on this industry. And you know what we do? We have a T-shirt for them, and it's only $20. You can get it online and buy Jack. We have a little logo. I don't know if Mollie wants to try on the shirt today and model it for us, but we do offer this shirt. All proceeds go to the USBG, and we'll put the link into the comments, and you guys can check that out. That's the USBG supported Support All Bartenders T-shirt. You can make that happen, and we'll get the link up in the comments for you here in just a bit. If we're ready, we will show our first cocktail video. I don't know, Matt, did we happen to link up? Or are we just going to jump in on this?
Oh, we got to jump in.
Let's see it. Let's see our first cocktail, and we're excited to showcase all Cincinnati bartenders today. Hit it, Matt.
Hey guys, my name is Bill Whitlow from Covington, Kentucky. I work at Rich's Proper Food and Drink, and George Remus invited me to make a cocktail for you all today. So we are at my house, and if you're anything like me, you've got some random liquor and random pantry items. I thought I'd make some sort of a twist on a Manhattan using some different pantry items. So I guess, being a bartender, I've always got a guest that I'm making for. So my dog Angel is going to be my guest today. So Angel, what kind of cocktail would you like today? She's not very attentive, so I'm going to make a decision for her. We're going to go with a bourbon cocktail and something a little robust and something that'll keep me going during these odd quarantine times. So I'm going to start off with little George Remus, and I'm going to make myself one as well, since you were being so engaging. So each cocktail, I'm going to do 2 ounces of George Remus, make it a nice, stiff, robust cocktail. So 4 ounces total. And like I said, it's going to be a little twist on a Manhattan. So I have some Gonzalez Baez sweet vermouth. Usually I would put 3/4 ounce of vermouth in Manhattan, but I'm going to do some other things. So I'm going to put a 1/2 ounce each cocktail, so 1 whole ounce. And then, everybody's got that random orange liqueur hanging out around their house. Whether it be Cointreau, Grand Marnier, just some triple sec, but use some sort of an orange liqueur. It pairs against the Manhattan's kind of rich qualities quite nicely, especially if you have like a Grand Marnier, something that's like cognac based. And we're gonna go a 1/2 ounce each cocktail on that, so 1 ounce there. Bitters. If you did, of course you probably got some mango syrup bitters of some sort, or some sort of bitters at home. I'm gonna use some chocolate bitters. But anything that's like rich and robust, don't use like any Peychaud's bitters or anything bright and citrusy. But I get nice, rich, dark, or an aromatic bitters. I said something's gonna wake you up. I keep cold brew coffee at the house. You can always brew some coffee in the morning, like a nice strong brew, and then throw it in the fridge. That way it's not hot when you're throwing it into your cocktail you're about to get ice cold. I'm gonna throw 1 ounce in there. Oh, and I'm making 2 cocktails, so I should have put more bitters in there. My apologies. I like to put 3 dashes in each cocktail. Then, some maple syrup. It's a nice way to sweeten it up without getting like sweet, without like getting coinly sweet. It keeps a nice, robust character and gives it a nice body to it too. It makes it a little thicker and richer. In a restaurant, we do like a smoked maple syrup, but everybody's got some maple syrup at the house. So, all right, you ready for your cocktail over here? All right, break out some of your fancy glassware. I know you got some at home, some fancy glassware you never use. I know that I have bought these from an antique mall and I have never used them before, honestly. Now we're doing 2 cocktails at once. I want a little more ice because it's a little more surface area, a little more volume to get dilution on. So I'm gonna stir a little bit longer with a little more ice than I typically would. So hope y'all are enjoying your little time at home and enjoying this trivia session presented by George Remus. So I'm in Covington, where George Remus lived. He lived most of his time in Cincinnati, but he ended up moving to northern Kentucky. But yes, so we enjoy our George Remus lore around here. And then, I don't know what you got at home. I brought over some cherries. If you got an orange at home, that makes a nice zest, gives it a nice bright characteristic. I'm gonna go ahead and use both. They're complementary to each other. But if you got either or, they'll both work nicely. Just please don't use those bright red cherries. Maraschino cherries are not good for you, and they're not good for, well, they're just not good. They're just not good in general. So, got our cherries there. Honestly, I didn't have cherries around the house. I had to go grab some of these from the restaurant. So if you don't have them, no judgments. Get some orange zest going over there. I'm gonna just toss that to the side. Drop that in there. If you get adventurous, you can always torch the orange. If you happen to have like a cigar lighter around, you can kind of heat the outside of the peel and then squeeze that right over top. All right. And we have Manhattan El Java. Now, here you are, ma'am. Nah, she doesn't get a cocktail. I don't get my, I just get 2. So, cheers. Hey guys, thank you all for tuning in with me. If you enjoyed the video, you're welcome to tip your bartender. PayPal, WilliamW859 at yahoo.com or Venmo at WilliamW859. Thank you all very much. Enjoy.
What a great drink and what a great shirt. Support all bartenders. Look at Mollie's modeling for us. Wonderful job, Mollie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's what I'm here for.
Excellent cocktail demonstration, and if you can support our bartenders, he dropped his Venmo or his PayPal as well. So if you're inclined, you can donate directly. We also do have these wonderful Support All Bartenders t-shirts that goes to the USBG. And again, we're highlighting Cincinnati today, the wonderful history around George Remus and his infamous time spent there. Mollie, you grew up in Cincinnati. You do some comedy. You've done some acting. You have a podcast, the Casually Mollie podcast. You guys can download that today. Mollie, I assume it's just like Illinois and St. Louis. So we're based in St. Louis. This is where that's coming from. We'll focus on Cincinnati today. What is wrong with me that I get really confused whenever they say Cincinnati and then they go into Kentucky all the time? It's a very normal thing. People fly into Cincinnati to go do things in Kentucky. Very normal. Is this just a proximity thing? Is this what I'm dealing with? And we've muted Mollie.
Yeah. Oh, we muted me.
You're back.
What?
You're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
I know. They're like, you know what? This redhead, we've had enough.
That's right.
Send her back. She's a Cincinnati Reds fan. We don't need this. But no, in all seriousness, we do have a river just like here that separates us. So a lot of people make fun. It's the river.
Sounds
They're
confusing.
like, sounds confusing, especially when you have the airport, the greater Cincinnati airport, you know, even though it's over on the other side. But yeah, I mean, I'm so happy we're near Kentucky because we get bourbon imported right in. So that works for me. I grew up on it and I loved having that proximity. So we're growing up in the OTL district. It was a lot of fun. So
it was too. And it's a great time to remind everybody that my opinion Matt's opinion, Mollie's opinion, those are our own. They don't reflect Remus or its parent companies or anything else. So I just wanted to put that out there. Do you guys want to keep the trivia going? I know people were exploding in the comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a great audience. People are really enjoying the last cocktail that was made. We're showing a lot of local support for Cincinnati, and we want to thank Cincinnati for all the wonderful support they've shown George Remus over the years. So, Matt, I know you guys are a little... I mean, you own a business, Barkeep US, and I mean, is this bad for your reputation that you're starting off 0-2?
Oh, it's okay. My wife has told me every week how embarrassed she is by my trivia performance. So
let's give Jess a shout out. She's a big cheerleader, so I appreciate her work, and I appreciate that she's there supporting you despite the performances you've put on so far.
So before we move back into trivia, I remembered watching that video that I've been to Rich's proper, and I had tried that cocktail.
That's amazing. Was it as great as it looked?
It was delicious. Yeah, we had a great dinner. We got lucky enough to go and see the distillery where they make George Remus. It's not open to the public. They do 2 tours for outsiders a year. They do groups of like 16 at a time. So I believe it was 2018. They brought me in as part of a group. Spent the day with them at the distillery. Totally amazing. It's the old Seagram's distillery in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And then our dinner that night was upstairs at Rich's. And I'm 90% sure that cocktail or a close variation of was paired with dinner. So I tasted that during dinner.
That's a really nice connection we made. You all can go check that out whenever we get through this mess, and you can support bartenders as we do here on King of the Bootleggers Trivia. Mollie, did you give your brain a rest while we watch the cocktail? I feel like you're going to come back strong on the trivia.
Oh, I'm ready. I love George Remus. I'm happy to be here. Let's do this.
She's definitely not a shill either. What was the name of George Remus's distribution headquarters? Answer in the comments if you're playing along at home. What was the name of George Remus's distribution headquarters? You have 3 to choose from. A, Death Valley. B, Remus Ranch. Put that on a slice of pizza somewhere. C, King's Landing. Remus Ranch. Listen to this. I may just be hosting trivia, but I think I need to be heading up research and development as well. So we're going to get into that. I know what Americans like. All right, come on. What was the name of George Remus's distribution headquarters? A, Death Valley. B, Remus Ranch. C, King's Landing. And make sure you answer in the Facebook comments as well. Matt, we'll throw it to you. Maybe this will change up your fortunes. A, B, or C, sir?
I'm going to go with C, the landing, because I feel like landing means that was on the river and they used the river to distribute the whiskey.
And whenever they come from the north, you can defend it easily. Mollie, what's your answer?
I was actually going to go with C too, but just for entirely different reasons, just because I thought that would be the correct answer.
Did Remus have a crest with a lion on it too? In a weird
I would imagine so.
Okay.
I mean, that would be kind of awesome if he did. So.
In the comments, Den says C, Sandy says C, Lauren says C, Casey says A, Edward C, Jeff C, Den. Hi, Mollie. We're going to go with the correct answer, and that is A, Death Valley.
Who names their headquarters Death Valley? Oh, wait, George Remus.
That's right. This heavily fortified parcel of farmland was located at 2656 Queen City Avenue and was protected by armed guards 24/7, which in the farcical land of King's Landing is also the case. So neither of you watched Game of Thrones and you still went with King's Landing? I get it. You were protesting the final season. I agree as well. You're like, you know what? King's Landing doesn't even count anymore because it ended so poorly. You guys are 0 for 3 now. Shout out to the commenters that are getting it right. But I will say that one you did have several more people that were on board with you as well. I think it was King's Landing. It would make sense. King of the Bootleggers. I'm not going to jump on you too much there.
Exactly. Thank you. Sorry, that was redeemed. Here you go.
If you're following along at home, my name's Chris Denman. I'm from We Are Live. You can follow me at We Are Live Radio, wherever we're at. Barkeep US, wonderful small business located here in the Midwest and works in several different cities. Matt, what's your social media handle real quick?
It's at barkeep.us on Instagram and Twitter.
And Mollie's is the Casually Mollie podcast. And you can follow her on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to keep it moving. We've got another lovely question that I have so much confidence in the two of you that things are going to turn out right before we jump to our next cocktail. Answer in the comments if you're playing along at home. George Remus's final home was in this town near Cincinnati. Now, if you're paying attention during the cocktail video, you may have learned the answer. George Remus's final home was in this town near Cincinnati. A, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. B, Milford, Ohio. C, Covington, Kentucky. All right, we're going to give the people in the comments a quick second, see if they were paying attention during our last cocktail video. I'm going to check out some of their comments right here. We have Todd says, no, you know what? I don't want to give you two away. I just realized what I was doing there. Matt, who are you going with? A, B, or C?
Covington, Kentucky.
Mollie.
Covington, Kentucky.
Mollie, have you been to Covington, Kentucky?
I actually have. Yeah, I produced a play there.
Oh, bragger. Okay. C, Covington, Kentucky. Remus spent his later years, do we go later or latter? Later years in a modest home at 1810 Greenup Street in Covington. I'm guessing Mollie's been by there. I like that. We did have some correct answers. Todd got it right in the comments. Casey got it right in the comments. Ashley, Jeff, Edward, Sandy, Sharon, Char, Eric, Penny, Brian, all got it right. So the first question that our co-host and guest got right, several viewers and listeners did as well. Make sure you're continuing to comment, jumping in those comments. We do have 2 prizes that we give away each and every week. Those are announced post-show. One more time, I do want to remind people we've got a wonderful shirt from By Jack, and we put the link into the comments. Matt, do you want to model it this time? You can get Support All Bartenders. 100% of the 100% of the proceeds go to the USBG. Order those, be part of the solution, and help support our friends in the bar industry in their time of need. So we'll give 100% of those proceeds to the USBG. You guys ready for another cocktail?
Yes, absolutely.
I know we are at home, so if you're getting bored, you want to mix things up at home, and you want to drink responsibly with a very great cocktail. We do this every week on Fridays, and we're featuring a different city this week. It's Cincinnati. Matt, do you have a preview, or are we jumping right back in again?
This is from our buddy Griffin at the Wise Guys Lounge. Sorry, my dogs just came in from their afternoon walk, and
are they 21 in human or dog years?
What's that?
Are they 21 in human or dog years?
Yes.
Okay, good. That'd be weird if they were human years. They'd be moving really fast for that age from the click of their sounds. Okay, Mollie, Matt, let's see the next cocktail.
Hello, my name is Griffin Ross. I'm here at Wise Guy Lounge above Goodfellas Pizzeria in Covington. I'm very excited to make a drink with George Remus today, one of my favorites. We're going to make a drink that you should be able to make at home and that you should be able to enjoy anywhere. All you need is any sort of Amaro, any sort of sweet Amaro, any sort of sweet nutty Amaro, doesn't really matter which, a bottle of Amaretto, and of course George Remus. A little bit of brown sugar to start out, just 1-to-1 brown sugar to hot water. So that's a ½ ounce of that. A little bit of Mollie, come back. lot of caffeine today, no food, that's fun. Amaretto. And an ounce of our lovely George Remus bourbon. So this is called the Insanity Plea Part 2. I actually won a cocktail competition with George Remus not so long ago, the JDRF Bourbon and Bowtie Ball, with the Insanity Plea Part 1. I made this a little boozier because in times like these we need a little bit more booze, don't we? So just stir that up. Get rid of your ice in your glass. And a slow, delicate pour over top. And in my humble opinion, drinks that are perfect and taste delicious and boozy don't necessarily require a garnish. Insanity, please. Cheers.
Cheers to Wise Guys in Cincinnati. Molly, you look like somebody who's like, I've been there.
I know. I've been to both. I love that place. If you can go to either one, they're so cool, and they've got this cool shelf in the back, and there's these ladders that go back and forth. It's kind of my dream. I wish I had one at home, but go and support for sure if you're ever there.
Someday we'll make that happen.
Someday.
And Matt, the two of you have both been to Cincinnati. I'll ask Molly first. You grew up there. Favorite, I guess, just give me a paragraph on why Cincinnati's a great city.
Honestly, everybody is so supportive of each other there, especially local businesses. If you have something opening up right next door, there's always somebody next door that's going to help you introduce yourself. All the local favorites have always been kind of treasured and cherished by everybody. We're very loyal to our local teams, and we just are just so proud of our city, and we just want to make it better and great each year. So
what a great explanation, Matt. I apologize for making you go second after that. Favorite part about Cincinnati?
The people. Everyone's it's a Midwestern town, and what they say about Midwestern folks is true. They're always warm, welcoming, inviting, helpful for people that are traveling in, always have good recommendations for food and places to go hang out and get cocktails, see music, all that fun stuff, comedy, all those things that we miss while we are quarantined.
Cincinnati can hang their hat on Tom Segura right now, so they're doing pretty good. He's one of the biggest comics out there. I believe he's a Cincy fellow himself. We're going to keep the trivia coming along. Again, thank you to everybody for participating. If you know the answer, drop it in the comments. Maybe we'll read it, and it also makes you eligible to win some of our prizes that we hope you enjoy whenever you win. Next question. Here we go. Matt, you ready? Molly, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
By 1922, George Remus's estimated gross revenues totaled how much? I just caught myself. I was like, whoa, those are the three? Geez, George, good for you. A, $10 million. B, $25 million. C, $50 million. By 1922, George Remus's estimated gross revenues totaled how much? Let us know in the comments, A, B, or C. Matt, what you got?
I'm going big. C, 50.
He's going with 50 million. Molly, what's yours? Then we'll check some in the comments.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but it was, remember, it was the 1900s. So I'm not saying that the George Remus brand is not worth 50 million, but it is and should. I'm going to go with A, 10 million, because that would have been a lot of money back in the 1900s.
Oh, somebody read the pre-show notes. So we've got Molly saying A and Matt saying C. We'll check the comments real quick, see who is right, who is wrong. A lot of people cheering on our last bartender. Let me pull this up. We got it in the comments. Paula says C. Jeff says C. Sharon says C. Eric says B. Sanders says B. Edward says A. Shannon says B. The correct answer, C, 50 million. He was called King of the Bootleggers for a reason. By 1922, Remus's operation had amassed more than 50 million in gross revenue. Oh, goodness, that's $769 million. today.
Good for him.
So
That's
good
awesome.
work for King George, the king of the bootleggers. Not such great work for Mollie, who's having a tough day here on the Bootleggers Trivia.
I am.
So-
I am. I knew this was going to happen. It's okay.
You're a great sport anyway, and you're from Cincinnati, and you're having a good time.
True.
So that's all that matters.
Having a great time.
That's right.
Thank you.
What year, here we go, next question. What year did the state of Ohio pass their own prohibition into law? Whew. What year did the state of Ohio pass their own prohibition into law? A, 1919, B, 1896, C, 1916. I'm going to let you guys think about it for 2 seconds. I'm going to read it one more time for those at home. What year did the state of Ohio pass their own prohibition into law? 1919, 1896, 1916. Mollie.
I'm going to go with A, 1919.
Okay. Mr. Longueville, barkeep.us.
I will also go with A.
Both of you going with 1919. The people. Shannon's got C. Alan C. Char A. Edward C. Alan says C. Chad says A. Eric says B. A lot of different answers on this one. Appreciate everybody playing along. Whew. The answer is A. 1919.
Yeah.
Look at you two go. On May 27, 1919, Ohio passed their own prohibition laws nearly 6 months before the 18th Amendment was passed by Congress. A large reason Ohio went dry so early was due to the influence of groups such as the Women's Christian Temperance Union and the Ohio Anti-Saloon League. Mollie, how many years have you been part of the Women's Temperance Christian Women's Christian? See, I can't even mess with you if I can't even say it. Women's Christian Temperance Union. And then, Matt, I know you're a strong supporter of the Ohio Anti-Saloon League. What a bunch of no fun people. Man, I don't care for that. Not one bit.
Who do you think the equivalent is in 2020 to those two groups today? Maybe we shouldn't go there.
Yeah, we'll drop it in the comments afterwards because I have I have thoughts that don't necessarily
Let's just
reflect.
focus on George Remus. Yeah, we love that brand, so don't worry about it.
Well, it's a damn fine product. So
It's a great product.
it absolutely is. So okay, so I like where this is headed. You all are. It feels like you're kind of moving in the right direction again, and the right direction for me is visiting with Cincinnati bartenders and seeing the magic that they put together on the cocktails that they make. Matt, our final cocktail?
This is from our friends Julie and Catherine from Homemakers. It's a newer establishment. We have Mollie and I were talking before. She said she hasn't been there. I have not visited Homemakers yet in my visits to Cincinnati, but I will make sure to get there next trip. I was actually supposed to be in Cincinnati about 2 weeks ago for opening day, but that got postponed.
Well, we'll hear more about that because I think that's an interesting thing, actually, why you were going to be in Cincinnati. So we'll talk about that, and let's see these cocktails.
Hello, everybody. My name is Catherine Manabat.
I'm Julia Petiprin.
And we're the owners of Homemakers. We're really excited to be here with you guys to make a Remus cocktail. It's amazing to see the community come together, and we're really grateful for the support. So we're going to get right into it.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
What are we making, Julia?
Okay, so we're going to make an East New York flip. So this is a variation on a New York flip, which you'll see the recipes they call for a port or tawny port. This is a variation that was done at Milk and Honey in 2006. So it's a little bit simpler and a little bit easier if you are just looking for things that you probably already have at your house. So we're using George Remus bourbon. Delicious.
Nice.
We're gonna start with the heavy cream. So we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of heavy cream.
And this is an ode to all of our New York peeps. We're thinking about all of our industry fam but especially in the hardest hit areas, it's
Yes.
rough.
Yeah. So we're gonna cheers to them
Yes.
and wish them well.
Yeah.
We're doing 3/4 ounces of a honey syrup. Do you want to?
Yeah, so that's just equal parts honey and water. And most people have honey. If you don't have honey at home, you can just make a simple syrup. It won't be as like rich and luxurious, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, make do with what you have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you have honey at home, just
so just like basically you want to do heat up some water and you're gonna whisk it together and incorporate it. It just makes it a little bit easier to incorporate it in a cocktail instead of just like straight out of the bear.
Yep. And then I did 1.5 ounces of the bourbon. And then I'm going to do a whole egg, yolk and all.
Yep. Eggs are precious, so use the whole thing.
Exactly.
Just all of it.
Yep. Bloop, just like that.
Yep.
So when you're making this at home, so basically what I did here, I don't know if this is for home or for bartenders or whoever, but I put the egg into a different tin as my ingredients, just in case any shell fell in or any accidents happen. It's meant as like a safeguard. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry shake the F out of this.
The F out of it.
So you can talk about what you do at home.
Yeah, and I mean, you can really just get all your frustration out of that shake. If you don't have that, you can also just like whip it with a whisk. I think it's just one of those things you really want to just like aerate it. So if you happen to not have a metal tin shaker set at home, you can definitely just do that.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so creamy.
It is so creamy.
It's so good.
It looks like a nog.
Yeah.
It looks like nog. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like a great like after dinner cocktail. It's just like a very decadent cocktail, like after a long day of lounging around and working from home in your pajamas.
Yeah, we're all
You
about the
deserve
comfort
this.
right now.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is a very comforting, warm
Yes.
cocktail.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna shake it with ice, do a wet shake.
And then you're just trying to get it foamy and like when I think of flips and sours or anything with like egg, it's really about that texture that you're trying to achieve. You know, take your time. You're at home.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah, you definitely want to give it like maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Shake.
Oh man,
or
that
so.
looks so good. And I really like the Remus in this because the spiciness and the high rye and the bourbon goes really well with this cocktail, especially because it is a little bit on the creamy, sweet side. Look at how beautiful that is.
Yes, she looks so good. Yeah, don't be scared of the whole egg. I mean, like, think about all the times you've eaten cookie dough.
Yeah, this is like
Thing.
cookie dough.
Yeah, and then when you use an egg white or anything in a cocktail, it's really like creating a whip, like a meringue, essentially.
Yeah. So we're just creating texture and it's amazing. And then we're garnishing with fresh nutmeg. You can use any other baking spices that you have. If you want to do cinnamon, if you already have ground nutmeg, you can just do whatever your pantry tells you to do. That's delicious.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
There it is.
Pretty.
And we want to thank our community for all of the support that we've had. We actually do weekly cocktail classes, cocktail tutorial videos every Wednesday at 3:30. We post on our Instagram, which is Homemakers Bar. And then we are also raising funds for our employees as we navigate through these strange times. So on GoFundMe, you can find us as Homemakers Team. But thank you so much for this opportunity. So
thank you.
cheers.
Check us out on our website, Homemakers Bar. It's our hub for everything. Sign up for our mailing list. You'll get recipes that we send every week. And yes, please support our staff who is out of work at GoFundMe Homemakers Team.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers to Homemakers. Look at that. What a great final cocktail presentation we had. We've had some phenomenal things happen today, and I'm going to have to go to Cincinnati now. So
You should. It's a great city.
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's just go.
let's make it happen. Our friend Sarah was glowing about Cincinnati and talking a big game, and I think today the talk it matched. I think it's being proven. So big shout out to Cincinnati. We've got a couple questions left. I was curious, Matt. You mentioned that you were going to Cincinnati for opening day. Do you live in St. Louis? Do you always drive to Cincinnati for opening day?
No, it's a tradition I've had with my best friend. We always meet wherever the Cardinals open the season. And this year they're opening up against the Reds. This would be a repeat trip for us. The Cardinals opened up against the Reds a few years ago. And on that trip, we learned that Cincinnati is the only team in Major League Baseball that always gets to open the season at home because they were the first team to host an opening day ceremony. So they have a big parade that goes downtown. It's a great great experience, great day to be in Cincinnati. That's for sure.
Very nice.
He's not wrong.
Mollie,
He's
backing
not wrong.
up.
It's a great day.
It's a fantastic day. I'm trying to think of more obscure Cincinnati athletes. Shout out to Brian Leonard, former Cincinnati running back who lasted about a year with the Bengals, I think. So we're going to keep shouting out Cincinnati athletes throughout through the
Brandon
years.
Phillips, Johnny
What's that?
Cueto, Brandon Phillips, Johnny Cueto.
Brandon Phillips.
There you go. Now, also Chase Kaufman, former Mizzou Tiger, was a tight end with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sure 7 people knew that. So we'll throw that out there as well. If you want me to bring up Kajana Carter, I will. I can bring up old Cincinnati athletes. We've got a couple more trivia questions. What's that, Matt?
Sure. I want to give a shout out to Robin Carnes. She is the MGP, which is the George Remus's parent company. She's the head sales manager in that area. I don't know her exact title, but she's the one that connected us to all of these great bartenders that shared these lovely cocktail recipes today. She's been great to work with. Thank you so much for all your help, Robin. You really helped make this a great show.
It's really cool that we've been doing this for a few weeks now, and we do get to see kind of the connected community that comes with spirits and the bar business and just how everyone's being affected. And I don't know, at worst, if somebody gets a laugh at us up here goofing around, hoping that this brings some joy to people as we all kind of push through this together. So Mollie, Matt, I know it's been a very difficult hour for you two answering questions, but most of the viewers and listeners are doing a great job themselves. We've got 2 to close out. And don't forget, we've still got some prizes to give away. We'll let people know post-show. So stay busy in those comments and feel free to share as well. And Matt, I want to link up with you too. We're going to tag all the bars that have been featured today in the comments. Go give them a like. Support those bartenders like we were talking about. And again, too, you can get that Support All Bartenders t-shirt that supports bartenders as well. Who's ready for the final 2 questions?
Ready.
I'm here.
Does that mean you're ready, Mollie?
Oh, it does.
It absolutely does. Here we go. Answer in the comments if you think you know, and we'll play. We'll throw on a bonus for the final question. Of the combined 25 members of Congress from Ohio in 1933, how many voted for the repeal of the 18th Amendment and with it prohibition? It's a long one. I'm gonna read it one more time. Of the combined 25 members of Congress from Ohio in 1933, how many voted for the repeal of the 18th Amendment and with it prohibition? Your options: A, 0, B, 14, C, 25. Mollie, you go first.
Oh man, I really got to brush up on my history. I was like, I used to be so good at this. I'm going to go with, as I know we always pick A and C, I'm going to go with B and go with 14 in the middle.
Going with 14. Matt Longueville, barkeep.us, sir.
I'm going with C, especially since they enacted prohibition before the rest of the country did.
We're going to check the comments. We got some interesting splits here. Let's see if anybody in the comments is going to go for this. I'll tell you what the answer should be. Definitely not A. I'm proud of both of you for that. Sharon says C. B for Shannon. Chad Page, B. It's a guess. Scott says C. Ashley C. Char, if they felt anything like we do, I'm sure it was 25. C. Shout out to Shar. Brian says C. Paul says C. Lauren says C. Sandra says C. So a lot of C's. That's what Matt guessed. And unfortunately, Matt's wrong because it was B. 14. Mollie, bringing it home.
Okay.
Look at this. Now we have one question left, and again, this has been a spirited contest with lots of ups and downs. The cocktails were the ups. Your performances have been the downs mainly. So we're going to work through this to our final one. I'm going to go ahead and say I believe, and maybe I can get help in the comments for this one. I think you two are tied. We don't really keep too much score. It's kind of we talk smack and see what happens. Let's say you're tied. In the comments, if you're tuned in, vote for who you think is going to get the final question right.
They're going to be like, not the redhead.
Yeah.
Is there an option for neither?
Yeah, that is an option too. And we'll see who's going to get this. So the final question, and maybe this will help too. So give us your answer, but also tell us who you think is going to get the correct answer between Mollie and Matt for this one, and we'll get some participation going in this. Final question. King of the Bootleggers Trivia, thanks to our friends at George Remus. During Prohibition, if someone said to you, I have to go see... what's that?
It looks like you didn't get updated.
Oh, it didn't get updated. Matt, do you want to read the last question?
I will. Which luxurious amenity could be found inside George Remus's home? A, swimming pool. B, wine cellar. C, the first Atari 2600.
Oh, I like that one. And remember, vote in the comments who is going to get this, Mollie or Matt. You can also tell us what you think the answer is. Just right off the bat, Chad going with Mollie. Scott going.
Thanks, Chad.
Scott believes in Mollie. Sandra believes in Mollie. Lauren says Matt ? I don't know how he should take that. Sharon, Mollie. Ashley, Mollie, Brian, both. Okay.
Aw, thanks,
Edward,
Brian.
Mollie. Okay.
Pressure's
Brian,
on, Mollie.
Mollie.
I know. I think these people just think I'm a nice person, but that's about it. So I don't know.
Producer Matt, one more time with the question for those at home.
All right, 1 second here.
See, this is where it all gets rocking. Go ahead, Matt.
Which luxurious amenity could be found inside George Remus's home? Is it A, swimming pool, B, a wine cellar, or C, the first Atari 2600? Probably with Pong.
Thank you for that. Tie ball game. We've got the people letting us know in the comments who they thought. Overwhelmingly, people believe in Mollie for some reason. Maybe they think the hot streak is happening. Matt, what are you going with?
B, wine cellar.
Ooh, this is exciting. Mollie?
You know, that's the thing. I was going to go with B, a wine cellar. It's a great amenity to have.
Matt, our producer, can you give us the correct answer?
You'll have to wait.
This is how we build drama, people. This is how it works and what happens whenever we do this. This is the way it goes down. We build suspense. We let the people in the comments decide. And more, we're seeing, we've got a Matt vote.
A Matt vote.
Huh. That's
one that seems most logical.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just bear with me.
Yeah, we're getting the final answer. We're doing this for comedic value and for suspense is what we're doing with the last question. So we're going to make this right.
I'm trying so hard to find the answer. For some reason, it didn't pop up on your side. Just like
this
we
is
like
hilarious. This has been such a great show, and this is the way it gets better whenever you have something happen that you build suspense with. This is all part of the fun. So we're going to get to this. We've got... Okay.
All right. I think I've got the answer.
We've got it. See?
Ooh.
This is what we do. This isn't your regular trivia show. We like to add a little flair. Mollie may be an actor, but we've got the drama on this side of the microphone. Matt, do you have the answer?
It is B, wine cellar.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
We're going to overtime. That's right.
Oh, God.
America loves drama, and you know who loves drama even more? Cincinnati, which is in America. And I just wanted to make that clear to
I
everybody.
bet you George Remus liked drama.
Oh, yeah. He would have definitely come to one of my plays.
That
right?
guy. Oh, I don't think that's how it works. Real quick. So we do this every week. You can tune in on the George Remus Facebook page. Tell all your friends about it, and make sure you support. The answer's supposed to be pool.
Oh,
He had an indoor pool.
I
We've
apologize
been corrected
for misreading that.
from above.
Noticed
had
it, let you go ahead and go, and just was going to try to hide.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
this is how it works. So I want to. This is an actual retraction. The Mr. Remus had an indoor pool. That is fantastic, and I think I read that
I'm
about him.
jealous.
Yeah.
What?
Now
That's
that I think
awesome.
about it. So, wow.
Notice that doesn't change the fact that we need a sudden death.
No, we definitely do. Made from rockwood tile. So there you go. What do you think of that? In that early on in the 1900s, he had an indoor pool. George, he's a wild guy.
I like George. I'm a fan.
That was from the official judges.
Yeah, that's from the official judging.
Dang it.
Yes, it is. It is from the
Did
official
he not
judging.
just have a wine cellar anywhere?
Probably.
around?
I just anybody
need
can
a
have a wine
pool.
cellar. This is great.
I was Googling and I see a Cincinnati.com article about his pool on his Death Valley farm in Westwood.
There it is. So we worked that out. We had our Steve Harvey moment. Now we get to the finals, and there's only one way to decide this. And I hope the people of Cincinnati understand this as well. What number am I holding out on my hand?
Oh, dear. Oh, my
Okay,
God.
between 1 and 5. What do you got, Matt?
Doesn't matter what I pick, you're going to pick Mollie anyway.
What's it going to be? No, here, I'll be legit. I'll show our producer. Look, there it is. That's
I
the
did
producer.
see it. I'd
Okay.
like to point that out.
In between 1 and 5, or is it 1 and 2?
In between 1 and 5 for the win.
3.
Molly?
That was the number I was going to choose.
We will not have a double overtime. I'll just pick a winner. Molly, do you have another guess?
Yes, I'll go with 4.
Going with 4. Matt Longueville wins from Barkeep.
Rude!
We have a winner. And the comment section lighting us up as they should. And I want to shout out Sandra for knowing it was a swimming pool. Molly knew about the rockwood tile. And man, that's what happens. That is what happens. Remus, Cincy, they come together and they put this wonderful program on. We got to see some wonderful cocktails we made. We had a Cincinnati. What would you call yourself, Molly? Cincinnatian?
So you can, but you say it's Cincy, but you spell it with a Y, not an I, because that's when you know when people aren't from Cincinnati. But you know, when we sell our shirts, it's CINCY.
Okay.
But yeah, you could say Cincinnatian, just so you know.
Now we know.
Any frauds out there?
That was a test. I want to thank
imposters?
everybody. I want to thank everybody for turning in. George Remus has a great history with the city of Cincinnati, and the wonderful, wonderful show that we get to do each and every week wouldn't be possible without great cities like Cincinnati and the support they've shown throughout the years. So hopefully we can give a little bit back and raise some awareness for some of their bartenders, and definitely support the places that we featured today, and we'll put those in the comments as well. Matt Longueville, barkeep.us. Check him out. I'm Chris Denman at We Are Live Radio. Molly, thanks for jumping on. You can check out the Casually Molly podcast. We're back on Friday. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
All right, let me fade this out. chicken dinner there. Sorry about me being